In today's video, we're going to delve into a fascinating piece of history that's often overlooked. The hidden daughter of Julius Caesar. That's right, the famous Roman general and statesman had a daughter, and she was part of a royal line. You see, Julius Caesar was married to Calpurnia, and their daughter was named Julia. But here's the twist. She was actually the granddaughter of Caesar's first wife, Cornelia. That's right, Caesar had a daughter with his first wife, but they were never officially married. So, Julia was actually a member of the royal line, being the great-granddaughter of Julius Caesar's father, Gaius Julius Caesar. Talk about a hidden history lesson. Before we dive into this intriguing detail, make sure to subscribe and support the growth of our channel. And now, Julius Caesar's hidden daughter, Rome's lost royal line. In the labyrinth of Roman history, where ambition and betrayal mingled like wine and blood, one story has remained shrouded in silence, elusive, controversial, yet impossible to ignore. We know of Julius Caesar, the conqueror, the orator, the dictator whose death at the hands of friends shattered a republic. But what if the legacy of this towering figure was not solely etched in the rise of emperors or the collapse of senatorial power? What if his bloodline extended beyond his recognized heir, Augustus, into a shadowed corner of history where a daughter, hidden by design or fate, lived and breathed, carrying the imperial spark? This is not mere rumor. This is the untold story of Julia Caesar, alleged to be the hidden daughter of Julius Caesar. Her existence, if true, would rewrite the lineage of Rome and challenge everything we thought we knew about the world's most famous general. The silent womb of history, the official chronicles of Rome, polished and rewritten by victorious emperors and their scribes, have long claimed Julius Caesar fathered only one legitimate child, Julia the Younger, his beloved daughter with Cornelia Cinna, who died tragically before her time. She was betrothed to Pompey the Great in a political marriage, a rare case where affection and politics aligned. Her death was a turning point, arguably fueling the final spiral into civil war. But what if there was another Julia, another daughter born not of politics but of passion, concealed to protect her and perhaps even to preserve Caesar's dangerous ambitions? Ancient whispers suggest Caesar fathered a child with a mysterious Roman noblewoman during his ascent through the Cursus. Unlike the openly cherished Julia, this second daughter, often referred to as Julia Secunda or simply the hidden Julia, was kept from public record. Scholars speculate that her mother might have been Servilia Scipianis, Caesar's longtime mistress and mother of Brutus, his eventual assassin. Such a union would have been incendiary an affair, linking the bloodlines of both Caesar and Brutus in a knot of treachery and legacy. Don't forget to subscribe to help us grow our channel. Yet Rome was a city of masks, and behind those masks, children disappeared, legacies were forged in secret, and power flowed as silently as poison in a chalice. Clues in the shadows. Much of the case for Caesar's hidden daughter relies on subtle clues buried in ancient texts, letters, and recently re-examined art. In 1863, a mosaic uncovered in a patrician villa near Tusculum depicted a young woman in a regal pose, flanked by symbols long associated with the Julian clan: laurel leaves, a star, and a lion. The inscription beneath read simply, Julia Filia Caesarist, daughter of Caesar. At first dismissed as a commemorative homage to his known daughter, the image has since stirred deeper questions. The date of the villa and its proximity to Caesar's known associates suggest another possibility, that it was a sanctuary of remembrance for someone deliberately erased from history. Even Cicero, the master rhetorician and sometime enemy of Caesar, alluded cryptically to the fruit of Caesar's indiscretions in a private letter to Atticus. It was dismissed at the time as a jab at Caesar's rumored liaisons, but could it have been a veiled reference to a child? Later, the historian Suetonius would write, in the 12 Caesars of Caesar's numerous affairs with noblewomen and queens, even claiming that not all the fruit of his passion was claimed openly. What did Suetonius mean? Was it merely scandalous gossip, or a hint at Rome's greatest historical secret, a hidden lineage in Gaul? One of the most tantalizing theories surrounding the hidden Julia suggests that she was sent away to Gaul, far from Rome's political cauldron. Here, in a distant province, Caesar had conquered with ruthless brilliance. She would have grown up under the protection of loyal governors or military families. Coincidentally or not, Go would become a place where mysterious Roman noblewomen occasionally appear in burial sites with inexplicable wealth. Roman artifacts and titles suggesting lineage without explanation. A tomb discovered in Lyon in 1981 contained the remains of a woman referred to only as Julia Pre. Some historians believe this woman was a descendant of Caesar's hidden daughter, perhaps quietly positioned within the growing imperial infrastructure. Don't forget to subscribe to help us grow our channel. If true, this would mean Caesar's blood ran not only through Augustus and the official Julio-Claudian dynasty, but also through a clandestine line of nobles, possibly influencing politics from behind the curtain of anonymity. Could these forgotten descendants have shaped events indirectly, perhaps even challenging the authority of later emperors? Motives for concealment? Why would Caesar, a man obsessed with legacy and domination, hide a daughter? The answer may lie in the delicate balance between ambition and reality. During Caesar's rise, Rome was still a republic, albeit a corrupted one. To acknowledge an illegitimate daughter, particularly from a controversial union, could have been political suicide. Unlike a son, who might have been elevated as an heir, a daughter would be a liability, a pawn too easily targeted or manipulated. It's also possible Caesar feared for her safety. With enemies lurking in every corner of the Senate and the Forum, with his own name subject to adoration and venom in equal measure, what safer course than exile cloaked in dignity? To give her a quiet life away from Rome may have been an act of paternal mercy, or perhaps it was a calculated move. By seeding his legacy in the provinces, Caesar could have quietly planted roots for an alternative power base, a hidden royal line, ready to rise if his main line was ever extinguished. The legacy that might have been to imagine a different Rome, one where Julia Secunda had lived, married, and produced heirs openly. The course of Roman history, already rich with drama and upheaval, might have taken a dramatically different path. Would a legitimate daughter of Caesar have married a noble Roman general and birthed a counter-dynasty to Augustus's line? Might she have been the matriarch of a resistance, or perhaps even the secret muse behind future emperors? The implications are staggering. Augustus himself, Caesar's adopted son and political heir, might have faced a rival for public affection, one whose bloodline was not merely claimed, but real. And in a city where legitimacy was everything, even a whisper of true Julian blood could unravel an emperor's hold on power. Don't forget to subscribe to help us grow our channel. Could the reign of Caligula, the madness of Nero, or the paranoia of Tiberius have been avoided if the imperial line had sprung from a daughter raised in moderation, rather than adopted sons raised in ambition? Modern scholars revisit the mystery. In recent years, academic interest in Caesar's possible hidden daughter has surged, driven by new interpretations of ancient texts and DNA research from Roman burial sites. Dr. Alessandra Vico, a historian from the University of Bologna, published a controversial paper in 2022, suggesting that references to Julia of the North in late Roman poetry may be allegorical tributes to the unknown daughter of Caesar. She points to poetic fragments that speak of the lion's daughter, exiled in frost, whose eyes held fire in memory of Rome. Furthermore, the DNA analysis of several female remains from aristocratic Roman Gallic tombs shows a pattern of unusual genetic markers. Previously believed to be isolated to Roman patrician families, these links, while not definitive, invite renewed scrutiny. The silence of history, it seems, is beginning to whisper back, the price of erasure. Rome has always had a peculiar relationship with memory. The damnatio memoria, the deliberate erasure of a person from official history, was a fate reserved for those who fell from favor. Monuments were smashed, names scratched out, voices silenced. But silence is not oblivion. Sometimes it preserves more than it hides. If Julia Secunda existed on the evidence, though circumstantial, grows more compelling than her erasure was perhaps the greatest act of political sanitization in Roman history. It allowed Augustus to claim sole succession, to paint himself as Caesar's chosen, to control the narrative of divine right. But legacies cannot be buried forever. And as archaeologists and historians continue to piece together the fragments of the past, the image of a noblewoman, standing in the shadows of her father's colossal fame, begins to emerge half in myth, half in marble, a daughter's echo. Julius Caesar once declared Veni Vidi Vici came, I saw, I conquered. His name would inspire emperors, fascists, and kings for millennia. Yet perhaps the true final conquest was not over Gaul or the Senate, but over the truth itself. A daughter forgotten by time, hidden by necessity or fear, may have walked the streets of Arles or taught her grandchildren Roman virtue under Gallic skies. She may have died in obscurity, her blood never claiming a throne but still coursing quietly, in veins that dared remember. We may never know her full story, but in the growing chorus of scholars, excavators, and poets who seek her, the hidden Julius Caesar's lost daughter has already returned, and Rome, ever eternal, must now make room in its history for a name almost erased. If you enjoyed this story and want to uncover more forgotten truths, mysterious legends, and untold tales from around the world, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us for weekly content that dives deep into the past. Your support helps us grow and bring even more fascinating stories to life. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. We love hearing from you. From all of us here, thank you for watching and being part of our community. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.